Hey guys, I wanted to share something with you that I'm doing right now. So every year, right around my birthday, I usually make birthday resolutions. So this is kind of instead of New Year's resolutions. So I start my year, whenever my birthday starts. I don't know why. That's just what I've done pretty much since I probably started this whenever I was a teenager, I guess, and I've just always continued on. So I want to share my birthday resolutions with you. For some reason, every year, drink more water / drink more liquid comes up on my list, like every single year. And I always start off strong and then I always fall off. So this time I put more water and more liquid because I feel like at least anything is better than not drinking enough. And I never hydrate enough, like at all. Use hand lotion at least 3 times a day. My hands are dry all the time. I have hand lotion. I don't think to use it, but like once a day, if even and that's probably a stretch. Like I'll put lotion on whenever I wake up and then whenever I go to bed, but then throughout the day, I don't even think about it unless my hands are so dry that they're like catching on stuff, which at that point, is just not okay. Go to a new to me museum this year. So I wanted to put something kind of adventurous, but I felt like that was probably a safe thing that I think I would probably feel like I can do. Obviously, y'all know I have anxiety and I freak out about going anywhere outside of my little bubble. So I felt like that was probably a pretty good thing that I think I can do. Fairby and I have done a museum before, so I feel like I can probably find another one to go to this year. I want to walk more. So up until 2018, I walked 5+ miles a day. Plus I actually worked out too. And then whenever I started having really bad panic attacks and basically when shit hit the fan, when everything really, really bad happened, I quit walking as much. Fairby and I still walk, but we don't walk that much. We walk probably nowhere near as much as we should. So my goal is for us to hopefully walk 500 miles this year, meaning April to April, basically from my birthday now to my birthday next year. Yeah, walk it. I said at least 500, but I would like for us to walk 800 if possible. So that's kind of the goal. Fairby's I'm sitting at the table. She was eating. So we always, she's out of food. Okay, I'll go get you food. So stretch goal is 800 miles because I feel like we could totally do that, but we've got to get back into a routine of it. And also the other thing, just because of so many off-leash dogs, I've been doing a lot better as far as being okay to go walk since I've started using plant medicine again. I guess we can say that. Yeah. So I've been able to go out and do that. And honestly, that helps me so much with everything. So anyway, walking, I feel like we can definitely walk more. So that's the goal. The reason that we haven't been walking as much in the last several months is because of off-leash dogs. And I was doing pretty good with walking. I enjoy walking. We were walking maybe 2.5 to 3 miles a day there for a little bit. And the off-leash dog thing got to be a really big problem for, I felt like a minute. It was almost every day that I would see a dog, or at least every other day, probably, not exaggerating. That's something I want to get back into. And I'm kind of being a little bit easy on me on the 500 to 800 miles because 800 is what I'd like, but 500 is really realistic because that's less than 1.5 miles a day. So that, and then the last thing I have on my list is to relax more and trust that God will put me where I'm supposed to be or lead me to what I'm supposed to be doing or whatever, because I constantly struggle with, am I doing what I'm supposed to do? Could I be doing more? I freak out all the time, worrying that I'm not doing enough or that I should be doing more, or am I doing the right thing? What am I supposed to be doing? I know a lot of that is to do with anxiety, just in general, but also I think it's to do with trauma, my past trauma stuff, because my ex-husband put a lot of pressure on me to have basically a full day and stuff to report back to him, but he didn't want me to work a lot. That sounds really weird. And he would complain that I didn't work or that I didn't have money, but then whenever I would try to work, then he would be like, I really like it better whenever you don't have a job because then I could do, the house stuff. All of that to say, whenever I would not work, he wanted me to have a list of what I had done basically. And if I said, I didn't really do much, or I just folded towels or something, you know what I mean? Really there wasn't much to do. It seemed like it was a problem every single time. So basically I feel like from that, I kind of got a little bit of some type of a anxiety around that, I guess, now, to where I'm like very concerned that I'm not spending my time wisely. I really just wanting to jump in and explain quickly what I didn't explain very well here. So my ex-husband would not really want me to work, and then he would complain that I didn't have money, and then he would want me to stay busy at home. So keep in mind, we don't have children. At the time, we did have 4 animals. They were all older. So sometimes there would be a lot to do. Sometimes there wouldn't be a lot to do. It was my job to take care of the inside of the house stuff. So anything, meaning laundry, pet care, cooking, cleaning, the stuff, making sure his clothes were ironed, his lunches were made, meals were made, stuff like that. So let's say there was a day there wasn't anything to do other than, just normal, take the dogs out and make dinner type stuff. Whenever I say it seemed like it was a problem, what I'm talking about is his attitude would be just, like basically I'm a piece of shit for not doing something, even though there wasn't anything to do. And sometimes you don't have something to do. There were even times where he would get pissed off at me for reading a book. Like if he came home and he was like, "What'd you do?" And I'll be like, there wasn't much to do. We've got dinner ready, whatever. I've just read this book, and like maybe I had a book and I read a couple chapters. He'd be like, "Oh, that's nice. So you're sitting here on your ass reading while I'm out working." And it's like, you don't want me to work, but whenever I do not work, you're mad that I'm not busy. But whenever I do work, you're mad that I'm not doing stuff. So it was very like mind game back and forth with that. But then what I mean by a problem is not only would he be an asshole to me, a lot of times these nights that this kind of stuff would happen, where I would not have anything to report that I had done, a lot of times these would be nights where holes would get punched in walls, things would get thrown at me. Whenever I went to bed, I was woke up and told that I wasn't allowed to sleep in the bed and I had to go downstairs, and it would start the upstairs, downstairs thing. So that's what I'm talking about here. But for some reason, whenever I'm telling you in the actual video, like while I was trying to explain it, like I wasn't articulating it as well as I am now. And it's not like, oh, I feel like I'm wasting my time. It's like I can't relax because I feel like I need to do something, if that makes sense. So that, like I feel like something's expected of me. You know what I mean? But like there's nothing, like I don't have anyone to report to. There's nobody. So anyway, that. What are you doing? So that's what I'm doing right now. I wanted to share it with you guys though. And I don't know, let me know, do you do birthday resolutions, anybody? Anyway, all right, we're gonna hop off here for now.